Alright, hi, I'm Juju. I'm going to do a collective reading for humanity from today, I believe it's the 26th and beyond. See what's going on with the collective. So, these have to be some of the biggest tarot cards I've ever seen and or held. These are the Alchemical Visions Tarot. So, I have to split them up in order to shuffle. But as you can see, these are like giant. Okay. Spirit, can you please show me the collective, please? From now, from today, the 26th of January, 2021 and beyond. So, can't really shuffle that well. So you kind of do like this. Anyways, Spirit, can you please show me? Before I even do that, let me just say this. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Hopefully, things will be different this time in this reading. Hopefully it's nothing too intense. I'm not saying any of these events are going to happen or are happening or have happened, okay? Alright, show me the energies of the collective. Where are we going? For the collective of humanity. 26th of January, 2021 and beyond. Tell me when to stop. Okay. We have got that one. Okay. Alright. Tell me when to stop. Show me the collective 26th of January 2021 and beyond. Okay. Alright, we'll get one more. We have the Six of Coins reversed and we have the Six of Swords. Okay, so 6, 6. Alright, show me the collective for humanity. January 26th, 2021 and beyond. Okay, Queen of Wands reverse. Okay. Show me the collective for humanity. The 26th of January, 2021 and beyond. Alright, and then we have the Two of Wands. Okay, in the upright. Bottom of the deck, we have Three of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the Three of Coins in the upright. And we have the Magician, so we'll take that. Oh, and we'll take the Fool too. Alright, so I have no idea where I'm going to put these. These are just absolutely giant. Okay, so we'll look at these here in a minute. Alright, so let's look at this one in the upright. This looks like Wall Street to me because you have all these counters and then you have the money, then you have the clock and like a podium and people are counting it or like tallying up things. Roses, and you have the caduceus, but it's around roses. Or or some type of plant here. To me, that looks like Wall Street. Well, this for me talks about an inequality or not an equal give and take. There's been an injustice or an unfairness or giving to more than one, giving to one set versus the other. Also in taxes. Could even be taxes, but I really strongly feel stock market here. Possibly crashing or taking a really sharp downward spiral. Almost like a bubble that's about to pop. And then we have over here, we have what looks like a chariot that's crossing like a bridge, a rainbow bridge here. But this also talks about, Six of Swords talks about moving on to calmer waters, away from danger. or moving on from a unfair situation or unfair economy or an unfair equal give and take, no reciprocity. Moving away from stinginess as well. Or something in the stock market is trying to move away from a very chaotic time that's coming. Crossing a bridge. Or asking for help to get across this rainbow bridge. Okay, then we have the Queen of Wands here in reverse. We'll look at it in the upright. The Queen of Wands is someone who is very attractive, who's very appealing. In this particular deck, she's looks like a priestess or some type of pharaoh. With the two lions. For me, that almost looks like these are the two sphinxes, but there's an eye that's watching her, and then the sunflower that's blooming. It's almost like the sun's behind her. Someone's very attractive, very much a go-getter. Also, it looks like she's trying to take apart a piece of the plant or the sun. But then we have these two, I don't know if these are like coconut trees behind her. The two sphinxes as well with the high priestess of the pharaoh. But she's in reverse, so she's not in her power. So the sun might be losing its power or something about the sun losing its power. But we need to be able to see that, or is already known. It's happened before. We're also needing to make a decision, being at a crossroads here. Need to make a decision about which path we're going to take. Also, this talks about, I'm getting like Nordic or like Scandinavian type of leaves. We got the rainbow bridge, and then we have the world tree. Branches out. But we have the three sisters of fate. That's what it feels like. But we're at a crossroads, needing to make a very direct and very decisive decision. About how to move on calmly, move on from chaos onto calmer waters. There could be some type of disturbance in the water as well. Maybe there's not. Okay. So I feel like the water is going to end up on the stock exchange because the sun is going to lose its potency. Where the sun dims its light. But that's something that we can't see. But then you have the sun peering through here, but it's not as strong as it once was. But this is like a fated event. The three sisters of fate. And then we have the Three of Wands here in reverse. No time to wait. No time to wait. See, look. We have a boat, okay? A circle of pearls here. Then we have like a looking glass or like a crystal ball, but we see a man or we see somebody here with two windows or two options again. But there's no time to wait. There needs to be a decision. Again, with the boat coming up on shore to calmer places from choppy waters, which would be here. But there's no time to wait for this. Okay. Then we have the Three of Pentacles here. There needs to be a lot of hard work. Because there's no time to wait. We have to take action. We have to work to balance this out. We go from 6 to 3 in the Pentacles. Also, here, to me, this looks like a compass. We need to find that direction, or we need to work to get the gears going because we don't have a bunch of time to wait. We don't have time to play games with this. There might be there might be like some type of run on the markets because the sun is dimming. It's light. Something is going to be revealed, or like, I don't know, the Sphinx, or like where Egypt is going to be in a different location. Or maybe they're going to find another, I feel like there's 2 sphinxes. But they might find also a third one somewhere else, but there's no time to wait. Prepare boats. Also a symbol of hope, though, as well. But we have to make a decision as a collective. Then we have the Magician. So manifesting magic as well. But then we have this snake here. Again, we have the Rainbow Bridge. We have the World Tree. Then we have the snake eating its tail with all these different symbols on it. Mirrors everywhere to reflect back to us what we've been in denial over, that we need to see. Drums are being played, like war drums possibly, but this is like, I don't know where this is at, but this is like a temple of some kind. There's a bridge, or like a sky bridge or something. There's like a hall, but there's a door there that leads to, I don't know, a different place. We're trying to manifest an opening. But this Magician was reflected back towards us. This one can't stand light. This one is drawn to it. What are these circle flowers? Or these are like, almost look like reefs with the circle of flowers, like adorned on the head. Okay, then we have the Fool. Okay, you see where the 2 paths, one, and then we have the 2 of Wands, which talks about a crossroad. We're at a crossroads here. We need to make a choice, or we're at a fork. You need to make a decision. The Fool, again, look, is being adorned. This talks about new beginnings. This talks about taking a leap of faith. It talks about starting over. And you see the water's really, really choppy here, and there's people who are trying to get over this ledge because they're drowning. And then we have what looks like modern people walking into the great mind, or this is of the great mind, or creation of the mind. And then we have someone here, like there's a bone here. They're examining, also with the sun, illumination or understanding. This also looks like the infinity symbol. Kind of like this has it here. But then you also have like a bird, like a sparrow. I don't know what these symbols mean, but I know they mean something. And then this is like the dog, but it's more like a water dragon, or like something like, because these even look like little Buddhas, like Buddha statues, but I don't think they're actual Buddhas, because they're actually screaming at this. And then here they have the 2, and then they have the 2 as well. It's like a tiger lion or some kind. This could even be like some type of boat here, because the way it's cutting through the water. Some type of ship, or some type of, like, you know, water, like a boat. But I don't know, this might be like a Middle Eastern, or not Middle Eastern, but like an Oriental type thing, or it could be Middle Eastern, but it's like a water dragon, or like creation. There was like a dragon or something that of creation. I don't know, something about that. Or there's like a reflection, or 2 halves, but there's also difference. It's like being mirrored. And then here's the mirrors here, the 2 mirrors. And then we have the 2 wands, and we have the 2 lions. And then here we have the 2 dolphins and 2 alligators, like alligators drinking or eating dark water. Okay. Let's see what they... Let me get the book. Let's see what they mean. So we'll go with the 6 of coins reverse. Let me find it. 67. Let's see what it means. This is a new deck. It's very, it's really giant. Very, I like the blend of the two, old school and new. That's a lot to read. Okay, so it talks of Santa Claus, so it might have been around Christmas. So it talks about psychic energy as well. So somebody, like the flow, ebb and flow of psychic energy being siphoned off, it's in reverse. There needs to be a balance between what the merchant holds and the book of psychic knowledge. So there's a pilgrimage as well that's going to take, talking about this one. He holds the, okay, he holds the book of psychic knowledge. The pilgrim does. In the psychic world, all classes are present in this. So I feel like this could even be like an exchange with the psychic world. They're all welcome in the market of the psyche. It says, floating above the 6 large coins with pentacles embossed on them, these float in mid-air at the same level as the gas lamps positioned about the market. In a way, their function is the same. The gas lamps brings physical illumination to the trading going on below, while the gold coins bring psychic illumination to the hubbub of the exchange of the psychic energies. They form an arc over the market scene below, a protective border or an invitation to enter. So why are we not accepting the... Okay, so several things. So they're trying to... I feel like it's trying to say that... well, one, are we accepting the invitation of reciprocity with the spirit world or the psychic world? Also exchanging of that. But then also talking about trading, like the markets. So somebody, they have a clue, maybe it's intuitively that they know, or some type of knowledge, that they know that the market is going to go in reverse. Just as something about the sun too going in reverse that needs to be looked at. Even though all the classes are here, some of them are more elevated and they realize, or they intuitively know, that the market's going to go in some form of reverse, but there needs to be illumination about this so people can get ready and prepare for it. Okay. So then, okay. So we have 3 coins. We also have, a lot of repeating numbers. We have 3 of wands, so we have 3, 3, and then we have 2 of wands. Yeah, we have repeat. What is this? We have 2 6s. We have, 2 6s. 1, 2, 2 3s. So 66, 33. So with this here, she's also in a forest. It's like she's being hidden away. Maybe there's something that's hidden about a son, like a child, like a pregnancy or a baby. Because we also have I think these are like coconut trees, but I'm not really sure. There's some type of fruit that has not came forward. So let's see. Let's go here. 6 of Swords. $128. Let's see. Okay. Okay, this talks about a watery funeral. It says a watery funeral is at the center of the Six of Swords. A dark man is rowing a fairy man, okay, rowing a floating draped funeral sarcophagus across a lake towards a distant shore. The coffin has six bright swords piercing it. The boat is surrounded by water spirits, alligators, and celebrating dolphins above. Apollo rides his chariot on a rainbow, and behind Apollo is Jupiter. It is with difficulty that the man propels the heavy boat to his destination. Movement of the journey is difficult and takes considerable effort, whether on land or on water, whether in the mundane world or in the world of the psyche. This adventure is not for the faint of heart. However, it must be pointed out that some movement, no matter how small or tentative, is better than no movement at all. In the Six of Swords, our eye is immediately drawn to the complex center of the card, waterborne funeral cortege. Death in alchemy is related to the operation of purification. That is, our putrefaction, as awful as that sounds. In the minds of the alchemists, it is a necessary and beautiful process by which the four elements are separated, whereby the soul emerges from the body. Ordinary matter is left behind after the putrefaction. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. And the spirit is set free. It is seen as a distillation leading to the pure elements, and to gain even greater purity, the process has to be repeated many times. So like reincarnation even. In alchemy, death is also a prerequisite to rejuvenation. This is the heart of the Six of Swords. Every ending is an opportunity for a new beginning. This is why the ferryman is rowing toward land. He seems strong and confident in his work. That is why the dolphins around the funeral barge seem to be jumping with joy. And this is why creatures of the sea, real and mythical, rise to the surface to do homage to the ritual taking place. The Six of Swords seem prime to pry open the coffin, each being different. Perhaps each will try a different way to get in. They seem ready to help the coffin burst open to release the rejuvenated soul. Three of the swords are straight, and thus associated with the male, solar principles, while three swords are curved, thus associated with the feminine and lunar. If the coffin is to open and begin the process of regeneration, it will be the alchemical conjunction of the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine, the alchemical opposites that will be needed. To complete the celebration of renewal, Apollo in his chariot is riding a rainbow, Jupiter behind him in the bright green symbol. He gallops past, like the gods of Richard Wagner's The Ring of the... I can't even say that word. Nebelgin? I can't say that. Who walk across the rainbow bridge to their great sky castle Valhalla. Apollo seems ready to transport the emerging soul from the heavens back to safety of the ground, where the traveler can continue his journey. I feel like the Fool card too is also like a traveler, or the Hermit is for me is like the traveler. In addition, the goddess of the rainbow, Iris was Zeus's messenger, which links her with Hermes or Mercury, so also Thoth, or even Archangel Gabriel. The messenger who represents the reconciliation of opposites, both particularly those of above with below. Furthermore, the alchemist saw the creation of the colors of the rainbow as the result of the conjunction of the two polar principles of sulfur and mercury, of the sun and the moon, of fire and water, of light and darkness. The rainbow appearing at the end of the storm is also a symbol of cleansing. In the Hindu and Tantric traditions, the highest meditative state, the rainbow body, is achieved as the ultimate oneness, and is typically achieved only at the time of death. In the Six of Swords, death leads to rebirth and renewal. The Six of Swords is telling the traveler that the journey is not a constant forward movement. Expect stops and starts, and the stops can seem like death, but are only preludes to rejuvenation and regeneration. So, again, I feel like there might be some type of death of trading. There also could be a run on the markets about water, or they're going to bring water as some type of money, which is messed up. But I also feel here, and I'm going to turn these up because I want to be able to look at them better. I also feel here that that there needs to be some type of balance in like it was talking about caste system. All castes are listed. There needs to be a balance in the caste system. Although I'm not saying the caste system is good, I'm just saying like there needs to be some type of there is going to be some type of fall of the market or crash. Therefore, it can be reborn or rejuvenated or replaced with something more sustainable for everybody. More of like trading, like bartering, you know? Like I have tomatoes, you have potatoes. Let's trade, and everybody gets what they want, and no one's left out. But not like in a political sense, but like actually getting rid of a political system or a Federal Reserve system, which I feel like is kind of, in a way, the same. I know it's not, but I'm getting like they're kind of, well, they're connected, but I feel like they're one and the same in some fashion. Like it's almost like the Federal Reserve or like these large banks are like their own government. I don't know if that makes sense. It's probably not accurate, but for some reason it feels like it's their own government. But there is going to be an ending of that, so it can be reborn, but not in the way that it was before, if at all. Or we go into like an equal exchanging of trading. But again, there's something about trading water, which I don't really like that. Because that's I feel like a human right. Same thing with housing and food and shelter, clothing, and a right to have some form of education. I do feel like those are human basic needs for survival. But I feel like there's going to be a recalibration or some type of integration that after it falls, because before it's been very imbalanced. Like really, I feel like it's going to come down, or there might be a doing away of a Federal Reserve where we're also backing it with gold possibly, or an end of backing, or maybe even like an end, I'm feeling like a petrodollar, because they talked about the gas lamps or the lamps or something, which for me is like oil. Well, I know it's not the same kind of oil, but oil. Getting oil from Arab countries, getting off oil, more watered power is going to be suffice. Will actually work. Also, heating water from like underground. Like there's like I don't know if it's like hot springs or like volcanic or something, like volcanoes, like running the water by it, and it heats it up and it creates steam, and that can power, but there's no oil that's used. Also getting off, like cleaning up the oceans as well, putting it into like plastics, that will bring more hope. Also, because it talked about death and endings, we don't need to kill our oceans or its inhabitants for money, for profit, really at all, but I feel like it's for profit here. Work in collaboration with nature, not against it. don't know if that makes sense. Let me see. Okay. Let's go to the Queen of Wands here. Let me see. 175. Okay. So the Queen of Wands, okay, she's in an Egyptian headdress and skirt, is self-assured and calm, holding a leafy wand. Now remember, she originally came out in reverse, so we need to have more confidence in this. But I'm going to read them upright. It says, the wands and staves throughout this suit are always in leaf or in blossom, as it is a suit of life and animation. Before the queen, so rebirth, animation, so coming into matter, like atom or atom or atom. Before the queen are two lions and a black cat. Oh, I didn't even see that. There it is. Almost like a black lion or a black tiger. Behind her is a gigantic sunflower with an enormous eye, and further behind her is the forest. The forest burst into fruition. Here, the essence of the heavenly soul descends into the flower. Earth's answer to the sun's continuance. Yeah. The giant flower behind the queen reinforces her power of feminine creation, the power of reproduction, the ability to nurture a seed into the beauty of full bloom. In this case, the bloom is a sunflower. That is, the queen has created the sun itself. She has caused the sun to flower. Since she is responsible for the giant flower behind her, the great eye within the flower is now watching her, but is looking out into the world, extending the queen's vision over her domain. The two lines recall the tarot card Strength, which talks about Leo, in which the feminine has called the wild animal instinct. In alchemy, the lion corresponds to gold, or there's gold, or the subterranean sun. So the core, the iron core, or the core of the earth. In the Queen of Wands, the subterranean suns have given birth to the great sun that has risen from the unconscious to be visible in the mundane world. The great sunflower in ancient Egypt corresponding to the Egyptian dress of the queen. The annual nurturing and nourishing Nile floods were presided over by the lion in the form of the constellation of Leo. After the sun has reached its highest point. In another level, the lion represents strength and the masculine principle. With a simple, demure, downward look, the queen has tamed these masculine symbols. She has integrated the internal masculine, the animus. Another aspect of the lion appears in I can't even say this. It's a philosophy book by somebody in Frankfurt in 1625, in which she equates two lions with the body of the spirit and soul. At the end of the alchemical work, it may be a great wonder the two lions turn into one. Between the two lions is their domesticated miniature, the cat. The ancient Egyptians associated the cat with the moon, sacred to Ibis and Bastet, or Bast. The queen has before her a balance of the masculine solar in the form of lions and the feminine lunar in the form of the cat. Because of their color, black cats are associated with darkness and death. And here is a second balance. The life-giving aspects of the lions, the subterranean suns, and the death aspects of the cat. Death must be present where life exists. In alchemy, death is the beginning of a new life. In reverse, it's like we're not accepting a transformation or an ending of something. The flower is one of those powerful antithetical symbols, which is her these words are hard. Oh, let's say hermaphrodite, hermaphroditic pistils and stamens. It represents the ultimate in fluidity and continuity of the species into the never-ending future. Okay. So we need to take focus because of what we're doing. We need to make sure that we are prepared for the continuation of the species of humanity. Okay. So death is the beginning of a new life. The flowers, okay, where was that? Never-ending future. On the other hand, flowers are transitionary objects. They bloom, and just as quick, they wilt. Greeks and Romans would stew flowers over graves, not so much as an offering, but as an analogy. While the sunflower behind the queen seems at first to be a positive symbol, bursting with golden energy, it is actually a warning from the queen that she must always keep in mind the allegorical meaning of the origins from the sunflower. Scorned by her lover Helios, so that's, what is it, Clytie? Scorned by her lover Helios, sat naked on a rock, staring at Helios as he crossed the sky, mourning his departure at sunset. After 9 days, she was turned into a sunflower, one that follows the sun across the sky. In addition to the warning about the general villainy of men, it also alerts the female traveler to the dangers of the animus. A failure to properly encounter and integrate it can lead to an unhealthy fixation on masculinity in both the internal and psychic world and the mundane world. Plotinus said that the eye could not see the sun if the eye were not itself related to the sun. The great eye in the sunflower is part of the sunflower itself. This sunflower, with its single eye, is a cyclops, who are strong, stubborn, and explosively emotional. The cycloptic eye of the Queen of Swords is saying, wait, did I just read the whole thing as Queen of Swords? No? Wait, what is it? Oh, Queen of Swords has earned her powers. Or it is saying to be ever watchful for the dangers represented by the sunflower. The Queen of Swords has earned her powers. She has brought the power of the masculine sun from underground in the unconscious to the surface, where it can be used for growth, both physical and psychically. However, the card warns the traveler over fascination with the contra-gender function, the animus in women, and the anima in men, can lead to distorted gender relationship in both the internal and external worlds. But it's in reverse. So I don't know why it switched from Queen of Wands to Queen of Swords, and I went and I checked, and I'm on the right, because it said here Queen of Wands, but then it goes from that to Queen of Swords. I don't know if you can see it. So I don't know why it's doing that. Very interesting. But I feel like it also talks about, again, this is no judgment towards anybody about their gender identity, pronouns, what have you. I feel like there might be someone, or not someone, but there might be like an organization that might try to take this notion of, I guess, gender equality, gender identity, and invert it or pervert it, if that makes sense. It's not for me to judge anyone with whatever they feel on the inside to what represents on the outside. But I feel like there's organizations or something about a changing of a rebirth here about how we view that possibly, or there's an organization that might try to stop a rebirth in that area, or we're not coming into full like bloom or fruition outside of, separate from that. I feel like there might be, I don't know, there might be some type of like organization that might try to pervert it or invert it somehow, like make it something that it's not. That's what it feels like. But also, outside of that, talking spiritually speaking or psychologically speaking, making sure that we are integrated between both the sun and the moon. Also, integration about feminine and masculine principles within all of us, no matter what our gender is or what we identify as with gender. There is an integration that's in process that we are not trying. There is it's transforming, but we're not because this was also reversed, not balancing it out as well. Or there needs to be a balancing out because of the gender inequalities between the masculine and feminine, regardless of whatever you identify with or are. If that, I don't know if that makes sense. Hope I don't sound bigoted. I'm trying to. Oh, I just saw something too. There is a line here made of stars. So Leo, okay, Leo constellation. So this might come fruition by Leo time this year. So I guess that would be in end of like half point in June into the half point of August. But there needs to be something about the feminine energy, no matter what. We need to accept the masculine as well, and vice versa. That's the only way we can actually have a true rebirth, because there is a balancing that is trying to take place. Okay. Also, I think I've gotten this in other readings, but I don't really know for sure. I don't remember off the top of my head. I might have to go back, but maybe someone can pinpoint it at the bottom, but or comment the reading that it was, like the title. But I feel like the moon and the sun are going to go reverse. Like if the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, it'll rise in the west and set in the east, and then vice versa for the moon. The same thing. It'll be reversed, which can have some type of, well, would have some, cause some issues with the water, the tides, also storming waters. Okay, so, but there again, we have the two here, the Two of Wands. We have, one has their right eye covered, the other one has their left eye covered, but there's still two eyes. But then we have I feel like this is fate, the sisters of fate. And it almost looks like one has a certain crown, the center one, maybe. Let's see. Let's see. Two of Wands. Let's see. Okay, 151. Okay. Hold on. So this talks about dominating. So dominating the Two of Wands is the fearsome three-headed Hectae. Okay, so magic. The Greek goddess, infamously associated with witchcraft, magic, and ghost. No wonder the two wands have now become clubs. More important for the traveler, Hecate is also the goddess of crossroads and one of the main Athenian household gods, bestowing prosperity and daily blessings on the family. As Jung points out, all deep symbols contain their own opposites. So the question arises, which aspect of Hecate does the Two of Wands portray? The answer is in the planetary symbol of Venus floating before her. In alchemy, the planet Venus is associated with the goddess of love. For the alchemist, Venus dominates copper. Also, the planet Venus is the third brightest heavenly object after the sun and the moon. So copper is the third most important metal after gold and silver. Copper was highly valued as the best material for which alchemical cauldrons were made, assuring the best results. Interestingly, women have a higher concentration of copper in their blood serum than men. Hecate is like quicksilver. She is both ambivalent and polymorphous. She straddles conventional boundaries and defies definition. Some of her other names are Chthoniya of the underworld. Also, I have a book about that representing Scorpio, or a section of the book of the underworld. Oh my gosh, Cloudosis. I cannot say these words. Holding the keys. Phosphorus. It's not phosphorus. Maybe it is. Bringing light. Maybe. And trimorphi. Three-formed. Hecate is a direct reflection of the three-stage alchemical process, three-formed of transmutation, holding the keys, and the philosopher's stone, which brings light. For the female traveler, Hecate represents the major portion of the psyche, the ego. Through the ego, express both positive and negative values. The woman traveler must travel carefully, which aspects will assist her on the great journey towards psychic health. For the male traveler, Hecate represents the anima, the internal feminine aspect. Being a part of the man's unconscious, she can erupt unbidden and often uncontrolled, projecting either her positive or negative aspects. Only by becoming familiar with the anima will the male traveler be able to select which aspects will help him move farther down the road of the great journey. Below Hecate is a doubled Hercules, wearing the skin of the Nemean lion he has just killed with his great club. Finding his arrows useless, Hercules used his club to slay the beast. Hercules' conquest of the Nemean lion has several implications in the Two of Wands. In alchemy, the lion corresponds to sulfur, the fixed element, although with mercury and salt, sulfur forms one of the three philosophical elements. Sulfur, being the harmonized elements air and fire, is seen as penetrating, mobile, hot, and diffuse. Within the human body, sulfur is the soul, like the life force, the expression of the uniqueness of each individual. Additionally, the lion, through its role as the king of beasts, is the possessor of strength and the masculine principle, the index of Latin passions. If this is what Hercules has brought down, no wonder he looks so dejected. What our miserable Hercules does not realize, but the traveler must, is that death in the case of Nemean lion is only one point on the great journey. The very club with which Hercules killed the lion now sprouts green leaves, a clear portent of the next stage of development, psychic growth. Hecate is in all her positive and negative aspects is holding an orb that contains the crescent moon and the world tree. The moon is a very complex symbol. Since the feminine moon is illuminated by the masculine sun, one alchemical aspect of the moon is that it represents the marriage between fire and water, the sun and the moon, Leo and Scorpio. Light emanating from the mystical of masculine and feminine that results in the white light emanating from the moon, the the whitening stage synopsis with the anticipation of the philosopher's stone. The world tree denotes the life of the cosmos, growth, proliferation, and regeneration. It represents inexhaustible life and can be interpreted as a symbol of immortality. Despite Hecate's terrible countenance, this is what she promises. Almost like the frosting crowning a cake, the top of this card is decorated with 8 laurel wreaths. The number 8 is significant. The shape of the Arabic numeral has been related to the two interlacing serpents of the caduceus, signifying the balancing of the opposing forces. In addition, when the Arabic numeral is laid on its side, it becomes a symbol of infinity, reinforcing the message of Hecate and the world tree. For the traveler who sits passively towards the back of the scene, calmly observing and learning, the Two of Wands says it's on your journey you should meet a frightening figure. Before responding, remember that every symbol contains its own opposite. I think that's fairies, I'm not sure. Fairies? What you encounter, or I'm not sure that's the right word. Accept the positive, integrate the negative if possible, even though this often seems an impossible Herculean task. Even the depressed Hercules of the Two of Wands, successfully completing his impossible task, may not recognize the possibility of resurrection promised by Hecate. Okay, so I got a lot from that, and I feel like it could even mean that we need to be aware of our opposing force, meaning if we're going political here, and spiritually speaking, of Trump. He's not out just yet. I mean, he's out of the White House, but he's not done yet. So we need to be aware of that, and for some reason, he was coming through. But as horrible and as terrible as he was, there will be, and I personally feel spiritually that he is, this is, take whatever it is that you believe. I do feel that Trump is not like a light worker or doing good or like a savior or anything like that. I feel like he's a false prophet, yes. I actually feel like Franklin Graham is the false prophet. But that gave power to the beast, which is Trump. I truly feel that way, deep within my every being. But when there's that on the earth, there has to be an opposing one. And I'm not saying Biden is that, okay? I'm not saying Biden is that. But there will be an opposing force, okay, of equal power or greater. So, I don't know if that makes sense. That may not make sense, but I do feel like there's something about that we need to be aware of, because I feel like Trump isn't done yet. And that's what I was getting with that. So the Three of Wands we had here in reverse, which talks about, for me as a reader, it's time to take action. We can no longer wait. Time is of the essence of sense of urgency. Okay, but we're going to look at it in the upright. So again, with these strings of pearls and these three globes or three pearls, also more feminine principle. There might be a feminine energy or a feminine opposing force to the energy or spiritually speaking of Trump. There is going to be an opposite opposing force that's feminine, that's totally opposite from Trump. Now, it doesn't have to be political. It could be, but I'm more talking about spiritually speaking of the direct opposite. I feel like it is a feminine energy, though. I don't feel like it's a masculine energy. But there's no time to wait. Must act with haste. When it comes to fortifying, going through these choppy waters, moving on from chaos, we have to do it quickly. We don't have time to wait. Also, there's blowing trumpets of an arrival of a ship, or arrival of a messenger, but we don't see their face. So we had the Three of Coins here. So needing to build, and again we have more feminine principle here. This is a woman. She's building. She's preparing. Also, instead of it being like a carpenter, it being a metal worker, like an iron maiden, or like an iron, I don't know, that's a band, but like an iron lady. She's rebuilding, reconstructing. I'm not going to read them all, but from the book, but that's what I feel with this. And then here we have the Magician, okay? Gemini energy, also Virgo, but for me as a reader, Scorpio and Aquarius. But there's it's almost like war drums are being called, but there's a reflection. It's a mirroring. The angels are showing the Magician to us. What are we manifesting, or what are we bringing into existence? And why are we doing? There's 2 coins here as well. And then there's the two trumpet blowers that announce an arrival, or announce a messenger has came. But what are we manifesting here? Also, for me, this is like completion of a cycle, but going back around, and it has an animation. It has like a reverberation. There's also sacred text behind here as well that we need to understand. I don't mean like the Bible, but could be, but like taking them all, combine them together, or there will be one that will be written from a female or a feminine type energy that is like of the iron. And then we have here the Fool. He talks about new beginnings. We have the two people here, the 2 paths, the 2 roads. And this to me looks like a boat, kind of like this. But I don't think it's an actual boat, but it's like pushing through. There's something coming around in Aries season this year. We need to be mindful of that. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Any guidance, any last messages or potential outcome of this reading, please, Spirit, for the collective of humanity from the 26th of January, 2021 and beyond? Someone's going to get caught stealing and lying, but it's going to be for all to see. Gemini energy here reversed. We got the Queen of Swords reversed. Someone is going to try to steal weapons, but still communications as well. We have communications. Swords talks about communications, internet. It can talk about actual, like a sword, like weapons. It can also talk about truth, stealing truth. Someone's going to get, the truth will be revealed about the deception, the lying, cheating, stealing, the stealing of weapons. This Queen of Swords here in reverse could be also going into Gemini season this year. This is the Gemini card. But this is someone who's very apathetic, has no empathy whatsoever, cold-hearted, dishonest, lying, not able to transform, but will cut somebody out of any perceived slight. Might want to try to use weapons. Also be mindful of like legalities, or something about this happening at a big court. Like a big tent, okay? Bringing down the house, or something about bringing down the house. Okay, anything else, please? Might even be a fat man bringing down the house. But he's gotten what he's wanted because he split the 2 that are the same and bringing one to the forefront by using news. But then another outcome here, we have the Hermit. So we need to go within to gain that personal truth and clarity. This is also the Traveler for me. A lot of people don't know this, but the Hermit is actually blind. He's only guided by, he usually has a dog with him, a black dog, but he's also guided by the Star of Aquarius, which is also 3 messengers, 3 meteor showers, or 3 like shooting stars. 3 messengers though. Okay, anything else for potential outcome for this reading, please? Yeah, the Judgment in reverse is not going to go in their favor, but it also is bringing judgment upon humanity as well. We also have the 3 of Wands, again, at the bottom of the deck, no time to waste. This is also blowing a trumpet, but it's actually Archangel Gabriel, but again, blowing a trumpet, but it can also talk about a whistleblower, but also can talk about, or a whistleblower is thinking deeply within to bring a message. There will be a messenger or messengers. I feel like there's going to be 3 that will come forward, that will bring judgment upon this situation. But also, Archangel Gabriel is a messenger of God, but it talks about messages, communication, okay, that will be judged or will be brought up. There hasn't been a final decision that's happened about this, though. Anything else for potential outcome? Yeah, okay, we have the Eight of Wands reversed, so no movement forward, also no communication. It's also stopping the forms of communication because it creates battle, or it creates issues or wars. There's going to be something that's going to be started about that, or there's going to be rumors of this coming to light because this is what this person wants, or this energy wants or wanted. Wants to bring a house down. Anything else for potential outcome of this, please? Yeah, bingo, Ace of Wands. To start anew, to start fresh. Also to have certain ambitions. There's a very particular one ambition. Also, this talks about the rod or the staff that's guiding the hermit, or the travelers. There also could be 3 travelers coming from a distance. A great distance. 3 travelers. To bring a message. Or the heralding of 3 messengers, or these 3 great travelers will bring the message of the coming of a messenger, or a messenger is here. Anything else? Yeah. Now we have the Princess of Swords in reverse, spying, stalking, hacking as well. That's going to bring a lot of this to the forefront. But is it honest? It might also be legal or tax issues as well. But is it honest communication? We need to be mindful of that. The High Priestess here in reverse. All secrets will be revealed by possibly a High Priestess. But he also needs to listen to our own intuition and follow that. It's not over yet. But there is a time of great trouble that's here. It's been here for quite some time, but it's going to another level now of the terrible time. We are in a terrible time. Span of time frame. We need to be aware of that. Also, make sure that the messengers are being honest. That they can verify. Also, again, great travelers too. Anything else? What are the 3 great travelers? Show me. What are the 3? Okay, we have the emperor here in reverse. They mean to dethrone a would-be emperor, someone who has a very nasty ego. They want to dethrone it. Anything else? Number 3 is going to be a very important number. Also 9, we need to have proper boundaries and prepare for battle. Also 3 of Swords and prepare for choppy waters, but also needing to heal. Again, the number 3 is going to be very prominent. We're going to need to heal from either heart surgery. Someone that would be an emperor because of their ego. Or we need to recover from the heartbreak and the devastation that we're about to see, or that we have seen, but it's going to get, again, this span of time of trouble. We are in the terrible time. Secrets, there's things that are being hidden. There's illusions of the moon, also the sun behind her. There's something behind the moon, on the back side of the moon, that will be illuminated, possibly. Lovers as well. This is also the Archangel Gabriel is the messenger, again, to bring the balance between the two. The masculine will be, no offense, masculine energies will be lit on fire. And I don't mean like actually lit on fire, but I mean like the stirring of the strength of the convictions. But also the woman will be tempted with sacred knowledge. But is it actually bad? Then the 2 of Swords, one will be cut away. We'll have to make a decision as a collective. Because, again, there's something about the moon and the sun that's something about it going in reverse. I don't know. Okay. Let me use this and see if there's anything else. 1 second. Okay. Spirit, do you have any guidance for us, please? For the collective of humanity regarding this reading, please? Any guidance for us, please? Guidance. Okay, we have desire in reverse. Okay, we're going to turn it this way so you can see it. Okay, so let go of desires. Okay, then we have, what does it say? Nectar in reverse. Then we have preconditions in reverse. So desire, nectar, and preconditions. Are we putting conditions? Well, obviously we need to tame the desire, but are we putting, I feel like nectar is also water, but also like eternal life or like the fountain of youth. Are we preconditioned for this, for all of this to happen? Are we prepared? Or there is a preconditioning, a desire to offer sweetness that will be like getting us ready for this event. Yeah, and then it's ambitions. All these are women. Paddling through troubled waters. Okay, I think we might be going back to a matriarchal type of society. I think that's how you say the word. Because it's time, but we're getting prepared. And then we have justice, because it's justice. It's balancing out the scales. It's justice. Also talks about karma as of laws of ebb and flow and give and take, cause and effect. And also transmuting reincarnations are balancing out the scales of our dharma and karma. Okay. Well, I hope this finds you guys well. Kind of strange reading. Really giant cards, but kind of cool. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that you enjoy it or got something from it. Again, like I said, take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm not saying this is going to happen or is happening or will happen in the future. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay? As always, please take care of yourself. Bye.